There is a disturbing surge in dog bite cases raising serious questions about Karnataka's public health preparedness and stray dog management. In just 6 months, from January to June this year, Karnataka recorded over 2.31 lakh dog bite cases and 19 deaths from rabies alone, according to the official data from the State Health Department's Integrated Disease Surveillance Program. This marks a 36% increase compared to the same period last year when over 1.69 lakh dog bite cases were reported in the state. Now, officials are saying that the jump is partly also due to improved reporting. Fair enough. After human rabies was declared a notifiable disease in 2022 under the Karnataka Epidemic Diseases Act. A recent viral video showed, of course, a 3-year-old girl being mauled by 2 stray dogs in Hubballi, which reignited public concern. I think a lot of parents would be concerned, much like what happened in Kerala, children returning from school and being mauled by stray dogs. Now, authorities are claiming in Karnataka that the situation is under control. There is no need to panic, but the numbers, which always speak for itself, suggest otherwise.
Wherever in BBMP areas where the dog bite cases are more, either feeders are not there or there are feeder and locals conflicts are there in those areas, in order to reduce the aggressiveness or let's say scavenging activities of the dogs, BBMP should take up the feeding, and it is in complete consonance with AWBI's animal husbandry guidelines only. So keeping those things in mind, wherever these kind of focused areas are there we are planning to take up the feeding. And as you rightly said, in BBMP there are 8 zones. In each zone 36 lakhs rupees amount is allocated, and in each zone we will be taking around 400 to 500 dogs for feeding at 100 locations per zone.
The highest number of bite cases were reported from Vijaypura, BBMP limits, Hassan, Dakshina Kannada and Bagalkot. While no rabies deaths were reported from BBMP and Bangalore rural, Bangalore urban alone saw 9 rabies deaths, the highest in the state. Health Secretary Harsh Gupta has said that awareness campaigns and timely treatment are being prioritized, with doctors trained and vaccine stocks which were maintained. Meanwhile, the BBMP has launched a pilot program called Kukkir Tihar, providing daily meals to 4,000 to 5,000 stray dogs across the city to curb the aggression and support vaccination efforts. But with dog bite cases ranging from 500 to 1,500 every month, feeding strays or failing citizens, I mean, it's a conundrum, isn't it? As dog bite surge and deaths rise, is BBMP losing its grip on Bengaluru stray dog crisis? Let's find out. We are being joined first of all by Vinitha Kaul, who's a social activist and member of RWA, and Ritika Goel, who's an advocate of animal welfare. We should also be, joined by another guest. We are awaiting that guest. Ritika Goel, you're an advocate and for animal welfare. Let me come to you. Whose responsibility it is under the Indian Constitution to see to it that they protect the life and also the dignity of strays, Ritika?
Definitely, it's the BBMP. They're responsible for the community dogs.
Right. So tell me something, that when the BBMP says it will feed dogs, see, look at the conundrum. There are strays now, whether they are being, vaccinated, inoculated, one doesn't know. There was also a theory, and I am against culling dogs. I think we can neuter them if there is a problem, but culling them is a big problem. But when cases like this go up, Ritika, where you see 36% increase in rabies, of course, the government is saying that, because it's being reported better, even, notwithstanding that, if it's being reported, then obviously the cases have increased, right? There is a theory. What does one do? Where does one balance it out, Ritika Goel?
Okay, well, I really appreciate that you're saying out loud that you don't, support culling, which is very important, because when someone like you say this on news channel, it really makes a huge difference.
Sure.
It definitely does. So, coming to this dog bite, it's definitely unfortunate. that this dog bite has happened. Having said, what I would like to put light to is the process of which the government gets these stats. How do they do data sanity? Okay, where are they getting the data from? Ideally, they're supposed to get the data from government and private sectors. Second is that these dog bites are categorized into scratches, uh, into rabies bites, or into first degree, second degree, third degree. So when they're presenting a data like this, are they bifurcating these categories, or are they even considering a small scratch? Second of all, uh, this census that we're talking about also includes pet dogs. It also includes community dogs. So does the report really clearly define or segregate the data
Are you
between pet
saying that this
dogs?
data may not be accurate, Ritika? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is what I am trying to say. And every government hospital and private hospital, there is a person who sits over there and who keeps on regularly updating every time there is a case that is reported. This person is supposed to keep on updating, right?
All right.
Now, it's called an operator. Now, do we have this operator in all these
Right.
hospitals
I
or
mean, those are
places?
very relevant questions. I mean, I'm not doubting what you're asking. You're asking very basic, let's say, hygiene, as it were, questions. But there is a bigger problem which is looming large in front of us. Vinita, call. I want you to come in here, Vinita, please.
Yes,
The
yes,
thing is that, the thing is that, in Kerala, there was a crisis 2 years ago, and I've done a lot of stories where parents were crying, child coming back from school being mauled. Now, the same thing is happening in Bengaluru, where there are several cases, for instance, which have been reported from Hassan, from Bengaluru rural, from Vijayapura, etc., etc. Now, the thing is there something wrong with us that we do not know what to do with strays? For instance, I will give you a small example. Someone feeds the stray dogs in where I live in a gated community. The day that woman is not around, I see those dogs growling at anyone who passes that way, perhaps thinking, where is our food today? So, Vinita, please, I mean, where does one draw a line? I don't want to be someone who's saying, but I don't want my kids to be mauled also. I'm a mother. I mean,
absolutely
we are all
correct.
human
Yes,
beings.
the
Yeah, I cannot
situation
say
is
because I have a big problem and I'm going to stick my neck out. I mean, there are lots of animal lovers who say, oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. No one teaches about dogs because we have it in our culture. But then please also recognize the fact that you don't want a human child to be mauled. And in one case in Kerala, that child died because the rabies, it went into her brain, Vinita call.
absolutely. Yes, it is a very, very alarming situation, and we can talk, we can debate, but it is, what is happening is there is not proper awareness. Secondly, vaccination and neutralization is not. It's not being neutered. Otherwise, why is the population increasing? If there was properly vaccination drives, awareness, then I think this situation would have never, arisen in the first place. So BBMP, though they say that they're doing vaccination drives, there are campaigns, we will be doing this, but it is just not helping.
A very interesting point. Arun Prasad, who's an animal rights activist, has also joined us. Thank you so much, Arun, for joining us. Arun, this is a show called The South Indian. So I've done on BBMP like at least 500 stories. Everywhere they say something, they don't deliver, at least when it comes to your roads in Bengaluru, pothole roads, whether it is about, correcting the roads, whether it is about garbage collection. I'm not saying they are completely like failed, but in most cases they don't. Arun Prasad, these kind of cases which have increased, particularly in Bengaluru, of dog bites and rabies cases, you think BBMP's plan, which is what, around 3 crores of feeding them food, is that the solution, Arun Prasad, or is it one of the solutions to kind of stymie these rabies attacks, as it were?
Which question you want me to answer?
I'm sorry?
Which question you want me to answer specifically? Because you asked about rabies and specifically.
I want you to please focus on whether BBMP's idea is a great one or something which may not work, because I know that once they did it even earlier, and at that time perhaps it was a success. So please weigh in on this, Arun Prasad.
BBMP is the only locality, municipality, local authority in the whole of India who is implementing the ABC Rules 2023 gathered in letter and state. No other municipality in India is following. Because this I am saying because I am also Bangalore Urban District APC member and also the District APC Monitoring Committee member also.
Can't hear.
Here, when you come to the dog bite data itself is flawed because I want to draw your kind attention to the Honorable Supreme Court order in civil appeal.
Your problem with Arun Prasad's connection, we shall kind of get him back. Ritika Goyal, I want to come to you. So, if BBMP is the only municipality in entire India which is picking this up, do you think that it's BBMP is doing a favor? Because as far as I know, it's the responsibility of the local government to see to the health and the life of animals as well, not wild animals because they are governed under a different law, but animals such as strays, Ritika Goyal.
Yes, so we do have the State Animal Welfare Board, but for community dogs, the BBMP are responsible. And I also would love to highlight this that there are almost 5 lakh cases in the court that is pending for hearing with respect to animal cruelty. So when we talk about a dog bite, we never talk about what has happened before. We've heard of puppies being burnt live. We've heard of dogs being thrown off medical college. We've seen and heard about dogs being raped. We've seen so much of abuse. So the question right now to me is, don't you think that there is a huge problem in coexistence and how we are coexisting and how we are treating when it comes to BBMP conducting animal birth control, the ABC program, right? I have seen n number of dogs who are on the road whose stitches have come out. The digestive systems are literally dragging on the road, and they have to be, moved back, and surgery has to be done. This is also a reason why the community dog feeders are very scared of, them being picked up. Most of the time, they're relocated, boshed up operations, and now the BBMP food campaign that is coming. I've seen videos of the chicken. So basically what I've heard is they've collaborated with hotels. So the hotels that you see, people who eat meat, food, leftover food with onions and lemon and God knows whatnot, that is what is being distributed. And I've seen videos. So this is chaos. This is chaos. We're heading in the wrong
I'm
direction.
making very good points there, Ms. Goyal, about this particular, the kind of food which BBMP plans to give to strays. Arun Prasad has joined us on the phone line. Arun Prasad, how fair is this then? If it is the only municipality in India which is now planning to, feed strays, but like what Ritika Goyal says, that if it is going to be the leftovers of what people eat, which is also fine, but with onions and lemon and everything else, then do you think the BBMP is doing, they've got a budget of 3 crores, no?
See here, the budget is meager now. Okay, because once this is become successful, the budget will increase. And I want to bring to your kind attention why the necessity of the local authorities has to feed the animals. Because when you see Solid Waste Management Rules 2016 Gazette, Rule 15 Sub Rule B, it calls door-to-door collection of wet waste, food waste. Before 2016, people used to throw the food waste in the road. Now what is happening is that all the food is being collected by the municipalities, even in villages also, and there is no leftover food for scavengers like dogs, crows, other animals. So what happened in the Gazette, ABC Rules 2023 Gazette, Rule 20 Sub Rule 1, mandates the Resident Welfare Association or apartment.
No, that's all right. But I want to ask you, giving them onions and lemon, I mean, what kind of justice is that? If you are saying, Arun Prasad, that the dignity and the safety.
The BBMP is giving onions and lemon.
That's what the lawyer on my show is saying.
No. Who said? See, I'm the first person in India, who had spoke to the disaster management and sanctioned twice 15 lakhs under disaster management fund for feeding stray dogs. It is a BBMP, the first municipality in the whole of India, and the food was chicken, okay, with rice, with saffron added, no onion, everything. Where is the evidence of onion? Ritika, can you tell me, please don't give misleading information. Where is onion and this one in BBMP food, yeah?
Ritika, you want
You
to
have
take
the-
that question? Ritika Goel.
Do not
Please,
talk
can you give
to
me
me
the
in
evidence
that
where the
fashion.
onions is being fed in BBMP food?
I'm not going to engage if you're going to shout and yell. I'm happy to
Here, I
share
don't
a
want any
link or a
misleading facts to
video
be
where.
told in the media. Here, BBMP, even in the ABC center also, it is chicken rice. Please
Okay, I'm
remember.
not going to engage in this
And
conversation.
also very
This is not a
specifically in
heated
all the TV media also I had
All
very
right, let's
specifically
not.
said that.
Okay, Ritika, would you like to take that question or you want to pass that? I'm okay with you
I
not.
think I will pass that question, but I'm happy to answer if you have anything for me.
All right. Okay. Also, I'm going to Avinita call in a bit in 1 minute. But Mr. Arun Prasad, tell me, how does one balance out between keeping our strays safe and seeing that our children are also safe and they are not mauled and dragged by stray dogs, sir? Where do we keep the balance?
Yes, yes. One thing is there. Okay, when you see Article 51 AG of the Constitution of India, being compassionate is the fundamental duty of all the citizens of India. And when you see Wildlife Protection Act 1972, okay, you don't have dog in the scheduled species. That means dog is not a wildlife; it is a domestic animal. So we need to be very careful there. And the dog is also called as man's best friend, and the parents have to teach compassion to the children. That dog is not a tiger. Even a tiger also, when you start feeding, it will become friendly.
But
But
when
here
my
parents
daughter, Arun, what happens when my daughter is mauled by a dog? Where
no
I said,
question.
where should we keep a balance, Arun Prasad? Answer
You
that
have to feed
question,
the dog.
please.
You have to feed the animal will become friendly, any animal. Be it a tiger or a lion or a dog or anything, you teach compassion to the children to make them to feed and be friendly.
You know,
The animal
Vinita
will
Kaul,
be
this
friendly.
is what I mean. You know, somewhere I don't think we are clear about what we need to do. If everyone starts feeding, for instance, where I live, there is a huge monkey population. People stop their cars and feed them with, feed them bananas, thinking they are God's avatar, etc., etc. They started attacking a lot of other people who came in a similar looking car. And when the car
Yeah.
stopped at a traffic light, all I'm saying is
I would like
feed
to,
them.
yeah, I would like to pitch in because I am
Vinita.
from an apartment. You know, we are around 15, more than 1,500 apartments here, right? And we have a major alarming stray dog situation where kids have been chased. There have been dog bites, right? Maybe next time we'll try to see if we can get those people who can talk about it, right? So I don't totally agree with Arun. There has to be a coexistence, but not at the cost of us human, right? We do definitely love dogs. We have a lot of dog lovers staying in our community, but he's saying that if you feed them, they're happy and the tummy is full and they will not
I
bite
think we do
or
not
they will
know.
not
I
kill
think we are
because
still, it's
animal
half-baked information, Vinita.
character, yeah,
How
it's
to
an
do
animal,
it, who
right?
will do
It's
it, I don't know.
absolutely. And as you rightly said in the beginning of the conversation, that BBMP has not even fulfilled the basic rights of us, right?
I mean, there is a
Toddlers are
long
their
list
road.
there.
So,
Yeah, I
so
know.
who takes the accountability, right? Who is going to take the accountability? As Ritika said, I don't really think that she needs to give any evidence because definitely being an advocate and coming on this forum, I don't think she's going to give any kind of wrong information. So let's
Concern,
respect
that
each
it was
other
a
when we are on the
concern. Yeah,
forum, right?
Ritika, I want to ask you that if my child has been mauled by a stray dog, where can I go to lodge a complaint? Because I'm not going to let it go. I'm not going to have a child who's suffering because she's lost half a finger.
No, it's a fair point. It's definitely a fair point.
Right.
You know, I definitely agree. First of all, it's a very sad incident, and nobody would want to go through something like this. Both the parties suffer, to be very honest, if something like this happens. The child suffers, the family suffers, the dog also suffers because then an FIR is lodged. The BBMP is then asked to come and take the dog away, and then there's no pound to keep, so we don't know what happens. Probably the dog gets relocated before. Of course, it's tested for rabies, but again, like I said, both the parties suffer. Both the parties lose at the end of the day. the need of the hour is for sure coexistence. There's a lot of damage that has been done.
I know.
You know, with people and animals, there's a lot of damage to be done. What we really need right now is coexistence. BBMP really needs to work with animal welfare activists.
But I think we don't even know. We don't even know anything from anything. I have read so many reports. There are only divergent views. There is never one kind of consolidated view about how to deal with it. We keep
Absolutely.
on having this. In Kerala, there was a, 2 years they suffered. Even Pinarayi Vijayan sat, Veena George sat over these meetings. I do not know where they are. Now it's unfolded in Karnataka. It keeps happening in Uttar Pradesh, in Madhya Pradesh. What is this? I don't think we have a plan. We don't even understand. Feed the animals, it will become your best friend. I will feed to...
Absolutely not.
No, I think we have a problem. We've got half-baked knowledge. I'm sure we all
Absolutely.
love dogs. We all, because you will say something else, Vinita may say something else, I may say something else. But in this, both the dog suffers and the child or the old person. I know one 87-year-old who was mauled. Haven't you read recently about a Rottweiler jumping on an elderly woman?
Absolutely.
She's got multiple
Yes.
stitches. Who's responsible? The trauma. Animals face trauma. Very correct. I also face trauma. So unless we have that knowledge, I think we will keep kind of shooting in the dark as of now.
Absolutely.
Sorry, but I've run out of time. Arun Prasad,
I
thank
would
you
just like
very
to
much.
comment just one
Yeah,
second.
sure, Vinita.
Nobody is denying the fact that we don't believe in coexistence. But again, I would like to reiterate at not the cost of our lives, right? Even
No.
if
Yes.
if somebody is coming to
Not
attack
anyone's
me, the
life,
court says in
not just
self-defense you
yours,
can
not
attack the person
anyone's
back,
life.
right?